Hello guys, welcome back to our English class. I'm completely sure you're going to enjoy it. And let's begin, okay? Let's get started. Here we have today's objective. Well, as usual, we are going to read them one by one. We are going to clarify all the doubts, okay? So students will be able to identify the use of present perfect, and students will be able to write sentences in simple present as well, okay? Identificar el uso del presente perfecto, que ya hemos estudiado anteriormente, and write sentences in present perfect, escribir oraciones en presente perfecto también, ¿ok? En este tiempo, pues, que es tan importante y que se usa muchísimo en el inglés, ¿ok? Before we start the class, here we have some facts about English. As you can see, well, we have English is a universal language. That's all. That's why you have a lot of flags around the world. And this is the official language in more than 67 countries. En más de 67 países, este es el idioma oficial. In addition to that, English is the language that people use in aviation, right? And is the official language in the Olympic Games, as well as French, and in the United Nations as well. Okay, people speak English there. En las Naciones Unidas, en los Juegos Olímpicos, y es el idioma de la aviación. That's why English is very, very important. So we are going to continue, and let's jump into the class by guessing the tense in these two sentences. Here we have two sentences. Guess the tense. Adivinen el tiempo verbal de estas dos oraciones. Estarán en presente, en pasado, en futuro. And the answer is present perfect. Okay, this is present perfect. And we have two examples. Let's read them one by one. She has lived here all her life. Repeat after me. She has lived here all her life. I have played soccer many times. I have played soccer many times. Okay, there we have two examples of affirmative sentences. And something that you have to keep in mind is when writing sentences in present perfect, we have to use the past participle of the verbs, okay? We have to follow a structure, as usual, for all the tenses, and we have to learn by heart these past participle verb forms, okay? We have infinitive, past simple, and past participle, right? La primera fila tenemos los verbos en presente, en infinitivo. En la segunda columna tenemos los verbos en pasados. Y en la tercera columna tenemos esos verbos en participio pasado, que son los que tenemos que aprender. Ok, los de la tercera columna, porque esos son los que vamos a utilizar cuando escribamos oraciones en presente perfecto, que es nuestro objetivo del día de hoy, ok. So, those are the verbs you have to keep in mind. Y solamente hay una manera de aprenderlos y es de memoria. Tenemos que memorizarlos. ¿Sí? Tenemos dos tipos de verbos, los regulares y los irregulares. Digamos que los regulares son fáciles porque solamente siguen la regla de la ed. Pero los irregulares, como es el caso de todos estos, debemos aprenderlos de memoria porque no hay regla, ¿ok? So, let's write, let's practice. As you can see, here we have the definition for present perfect. Okay, we have to use a subject plus the auxiliary have or has plus the verb in past participle, ¿ok? La estructura que vamos a seguir es la siguiente. Sujeto, auxiliar have or has, seguido de el verbo en participio pasado. Pero ¿para qué usamos el presente perfecto? Si es tan importante, ¿para qué lo usamos? Ahí tenemos sus tres usos, ¿ok? To describe unfinished time. For example, I've worked as a teacher since 2011. Para describir acciones no finalizadas. Acciones que comenzaron en el pasado, pero no han finalizado. For example, there. I've worked as a teacher since 2011. Yo he trabajado como profesor desde el 2011. Second use, refer to indefinite time. For example, I have seen the Eiffel Tower. Para referirnos de un tiempo indefinido. Por ejemplo, yo he visto la Torre Eiffel. ¿Cuándo la he visto? Pues no se está especificando, ¿verdad? Por lo tanto, es indefinido. And express experience or result. For example, she has already watched this movie 3 times. Para expresar una experiencia o resultado, ¿ok? Por ejemplo, ella ya ha visto esta película 3 veces. Right? So you copy this information in your notebook, guys, because it's very, very important. Okay, copy the information and give you a few seconds. Action. Five seconds. And that's all. Okay. So here we have the structure. Again, one more time, we have affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and interrogative one. We have questions, okay? We have the example there. Remember, you have to follow the formula: subject plus auxiliary have or has plus past participle. Sujeto, auxiliar, verbo en participio pasado. ¿Sí? Sujeto, auxiliar, verbo en participio pasado. Have or has. Negativa. Negative sentence. Subject plus auxiliary plus not plus past participle. Okay, and interrogative, well, I am going to change the position and that's all. I am going to take the auxiliary at the beginning of the sentence and the question mark at the end. For example, have you tried sushi before? Have you tried sushi before? Right? So here we have the sentence structure. When to use have, when to use has. ¿Cuándo usamos have y cuándo usamos has? ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Con respecto al significado, no hay diferencia. Significa lo mismo. Pero sí tenemos que hacer la distinción cuando hacemos la conjugación. For example, here, I have played with the ball. You have played with the ball. He, she, it has played with the ball. We have played, you have played, they have played with the ball. So we are going to use has only with the third person. He, she, it. Okay, and that's all. For the rest, we are going to use have. Right? So copy this information, guys. This is also important. And we continue. Now let's talk about the homework. Okay, so as homework, guys, you have to write 10 sentences in present perfect. Okay, so you have to copy. You have to write 10 sentences in your notebook using these tense, present perfect. Okay, 10 sentences. And on next class, we are going to correct. So this is the end of the class, guys. I hope that you understood today's class. You have any question, just let me know. You can test me, okay? And so happy and glad to help you. And that's all. See you next class, and bye bye. Take care.